But like listening to that and then listening to Trains and shit, it's like, so obviously Trains to you means a lot. I don't know obviously the backstory because I don't know you that personally, but I can tell when you play that song that it actually means fucking
That was
heaps
like,
to you.
out of all of them, that probably means the most.
I was gonna say,
like Old Friend, and that's about a very like a very past thing.
I think when you sing Trains though, I can tell that fucking...
That was hard playing that in Ballarat, man, because
that's
it's
a
like
personal song to you.
My auntie, so who it's about, so my auntie, she passed away when she was 40, very, like, selfless person.
Very
she,
close?
Like, yeah, very close. I used to be there all the time when I was a kid, and, like, they grew up very, like, with not much at all. And she spent pretty much her whole life, like, just caring for me nan.
She's very selfless.
Yeah, very selfless. I stayed with my nan like her whole life, and like they didn't have much. Like when they grew up, it was just like, you know, like five, like, and my mum included, like they were all sharing one bedroom sort of thing growing up and everything. And then when my nan passed, she was like, oh, okay, because she wouldn't spend anything like you know, or anything like that. It was like, okay, she can finally get a little place to herself and all that. She had about 2 years there out in the bush where she wanted to go doing that, and then she had a stroke and she didn't get found for a few days and that, and then she was so then the last time I saw her was in the hospital, and like, and it wasn't like just like, it was like complete paralyzed, like as in like, was she ill before, or was
no,
it was
totally
like sudden stroke, like
that's fucked, bro. Sorry,
not even like unhealthy, like she would like, you know, have a drink a year sort of deal or anything, and it was just like she was like 40, man. It was like she finally got to start living her life, and like, and like, you know, like she didn't know about a lot of the other sides of life because she didn't, like, even having a boyfriend or anything, like she didn't have that until she sort of started to move out at 40 or anything, and then it's just like, it just gets like sort of ripped away, and like, it was real hard sort of playing in Ballarat, which is where she was from, because she couldn't ever travel. Because I
was going to come to that show because I was in Melbourne that
dude,
weekend.
That was the first time I've actually, like, not being cool, I fucking cried at the show, like, 'cause it was fucked. So I had this thought that I didn't even realise it would actually be a thing. I was playing it, and I was like, because she could never travel because she'd like get hectic motion sickness, would never leave Ballarat, basically, you know what I mean? It was on a bus, she could get away, but that was about it.
I was just going to ask, what's the if like the relation with the titled Trains and your auntie?
So I love Thomas the Tank. And and so I used to always play Trains with her as a kid. And there was a lot of our, like, I guess, relationship was about going there and, like, you know, playing with me Trains and that. And I literally found the whole bag of Trains in, like, this old, like, cottage on the farm, and, like, this old sort of dilapidated sort of shack and stuff. And I was looking through it, it's like, oh, fuck, it's all me old Trains and stuff. And but when I played it in Ballarat, I was just like, because this is obviously, she had never obviously got to hear anything I did, and it was like, when I was playing, I was like, fuck, seeing like a crowd full of people in Ballarat that's just like, you know, that knew the fucking song and shit, and I was like, fuck, if she could ever have actually made a gig, it would have been that one. And as soon as that thought went through my head, which was like fucking just, I was like, oh, fucking like just choked the fuck up, man.
Well, she'd
like,
be very fucking proud of you now, man.
Oh man, like, you know, it's,
what was your auntie's name, if you don't mind me
asking? Lisa.
Well, fucking shout out to Lisa.
Shout out Lisa. Like, I don't know, like, it's I think it's like I think that's where it's made me probably have a lot more care towards this, and it's not just like a sort of a thing. It's like doing this sort of side of music has actually kind of helped me with a lot in terms of like processing a lot of that sort of stuff, and it's just like,
well, like, everyone needs that kind of fucking avenue, because I'm the same, bro. I suppress shit, and I'm not a big advocate for suppressing shit, but I feel like you don't need to put your feelings out everywhere and shit, and you just find an avenue, and if that's your avenue, that's why I don't want to fuck this
up for myself. I swear, I keep going on about, like, I like literally could not give a fuck if this. It's awesome and it's going as well.
If it ends tomorrow, it's better than you thought.
As long as I can keep doing that to myself and having that outlet, like if I ever had any like sort of management or anything that was like, you need to have this release done by this, I'm like, that is what will fuck it. That will fuck it 100%, because it's like, people know when you're bullshitting, and it's like, the reason anything is working is because it's just fucking honest, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to lose that for myself, because that's the best fucking, again, without being corny with music, that's the best therapy I fucking have. Same with like Old Friend. I'd like, that fucking song was probably like 5-6 pages of shit that I ended up condensing, but it was just like, I wasn't writing it as a song, I was just writing, and I'm like, I don't write diaries, but I knew I could write like lyrically, and do it like that, and just for myself, and I wouldn't put it out or anything. And it wasn't until mates were like up my ass about it, and like shout out fucking Sam McPherson. I'll fucking shout out this cunt fucking to the day I'm fucking dead. But like, I was never going to do gigs with it, and he just like fucking put the foot up my ass, and he was like, "No, can't fucking do it." And
the best
like,
thing he did was release Old Friend, because that obviously started the avalanche of it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, there was the, as I said, if you look up Shania Payne on YouTube, there's that and Head Full of Flies, like the early versions.
Head Full of Flies is good.
There were the early versions of those ones. And I actually had another EP that I ended up deleting because I didn't know what I was fucking. The reason I put out that EP was just so I could kind of get out the thing of like, okay, I'll put something out at least because I'm never gonna like it no matter what. You know, I hate listening. It's like listening back to the worst time of your fucking life. It's like, you can't just listen to that and get like, I like writing it and I like meeting people and playing it for people, but like doing the other and all the rest, it's just like, I can't listen back to it.
Do you know what the thing is though? This is like, just from looking at you and talking to you, this is like the early phases of your career. This is like the earliest phase of your career, I feel anyway. I feel like it's going to expand a lot more than you think it will. And one thing, you have like maybe 100 times the traction with what you're doing than what I'm doing.
But dude, you never know what's going to hit though. See, that's the thing. I used to say this thing because it's like, when I was doing some fun, 100% same.
That's what I was going to ask. Like I am getting traction now, but even I get imposter syndrome when I go out and people are like the sesh with fucking Sav, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy.
Dude,
what's the imposter syndrome
like? Dude,
like?
I feel like I don't deserve half the shit that's even been given.
You deserve it, bro.
But like, but in terms of like, man, like I remember like I had like so even it was like 1,000 followers, I was like, man, like, and this wasn't even anything to do with music, just doing funny shit. I was like, oh, it'd be wild if it gets to 3K or something like that, like that seems like a fucking big number, and it's like. Before I knew it, like with some of these ones taking off, it went straight past that. I was like, what the fuck? And then I didn't even, and now it's like, it's not to say you don't even feel it, but it's like, you can have that sort of rat race where, you're trying to build it up or whatever, but it's just like, you just don't, like that thing that I thought would have been a big deal, it just went straight past it. And then it's like, when it hit like 6 or 9, I was like, it just didn't have that and
it's always the thing that you don't put any effort into that does.
If anything,
well.
it's made it. I always thought I could never handle and I've said this to so many mates and they'll fucking vouch for me. I didn't think I could handle anything if it ever got big. Like,
bro, I was because you're a normal fucking person.
But I was like very mentally like not like unwell, but there's a lot of shit that comes with that. But if anything, it's almost made it easier because it's like I can have that separation from it where I'm like, look, you can't fucking reply to everyone. You can't you try your fucking best, but it's just like you'll be on your phone the whole fucking day. And it's like now it's like it's giving me a thing of like I can kind of switch off with it and just like.
And that's why I appreciate you fucking actually replying to me because I do understand.
Dude, I've watched the growth on your fucking thing though as well because I feel like when you messaged me that it wasn't even that big, and then to see you fucking where you're at, it's just like it grows it's quicker than you think. And it goes in spurts. You could have one thing that goes well, and then it's just like.
Well, dude, the funny thing is, bro, I put so much effort into this podcast, and then last month I was at work, and I had an egg, and I was like, it'd be funny as if I wrote "you're a cunt" for like on the grill with the egg.
Yeah.
And I wrote it, and I was like, oh, this would just be a funny video. It got fucking like 1.8 million views, bro.
Yeah, dude, and same thing with that fucker. Same thing with literally the fucking same, man. Like, as in, I didn't fucking think it would.
But I spelt "your" wrong. I did the wrong "your." I did like "your." I did, but then.
What do you expect?
But then I was like, fuck. I'm gonna do it with a sauce bottle, but I'm gonna purposely spell it wrong, and see what happens. 4.8 million views, bro.
Dude.
And I was like, what the? I was
internet's a fuck thing, man.
I was actually annoyed by it though. I'm still getting fucking 1,000 likes a day from it, and I'm still annoyed by it because I put so much fucking effort into all of this.
That's how this shit works, man. It's the internet, man.
But then you dress up as Patrick Star, and you're like, this is a funny video, and then that's what.
But same thing. I say like that was where I was like Because I was going to put the Touching Off out as a single, and I'm honestly, that's probably the best thing that I ever fucking did was not do that. And I was like, so the EP that I put out, I was originally just going to be just like put it out as one song, just like a 26-minute song.